stimulus checks, and next Friday's major announcement. This can be another big one that we want to watch very, very closely because these announcements that have been coming out lately are making the likelihood of stimulus significantly more likely, and that is great news for a lot of you in this community that have been asking for, begging for, pleading for, wondering when you're going to get some kind of payment like this. But all of these data points that keep coming out like this, and the most recent one, or the next one I should say, is next Friday. And why I want to point this out for you very closely, because the last several months here have not been all that great. But when it comes down to any type of stimulus, the approval of, the distribution of, these numbers are getting to the point where it's like, hey, this is actually looking pretty good if you are in the camp of wanting additional stimulus. Now, I've said this many, many times over the years, and I want to point this out again really quickly, which is when it comes down to the distribution or approval of any type of stimulus, what is one factor that they look at? It is the main factor, in my opinion, that they look at to determine the likelihood and or approval of this money to go out. It all comes down to the economy. Every single time it comes down to the economy, with the exception of this $2,000 dividend payment that the president is, likely going to be making or says that he's going to be making. That's a little bit different. That'd be a profit share or a distribution. But in the case of economic stimulus, as in stimulus checks to stimulate the overall economy, they look at economic factors. In fact, one of the most important data points that they continue to look at every single time is the labor market, the job report, the non-farm payroll report, whatever you want to look at. It comes out the first Friday of every single month. And that's exactly what we're going to be getting next Friday, which is March 6th. This is going to be the February non-farm payroll number, or the job report, or the labor market report that we're going to be getting for the month of February. Now, the reason we want to watch this one very, very closely is because the last several months here, we've been seeing significantly weaker economic data, as in the jobs report coming out month after month after month, and we've been seeing a spiking in the unemployment rate. That's exactly what you want to see if you are in the camp of wanting stimulus at some point. Now, obviously, we never want to see anybody losing their job. We don't want to see people unemployed. That's not what the goal is here. We do not want to see that. That's very bad. It's a very sad situation. But when it comes down to it, when we look at these numbers, we clearly see that when the unemployment rate spikes, when unemployment is rising, when jobs are being lost, when all of these factors are coming in, this is one of the number one factors. In fact, I've said this for years. In my opinion, the number one factor that lawmakers and economists and the chairman of the Federal Reserve and the president, the administration, everybody looks at these data points very, very, very closely to get a big, broad look at the overall economy as far as what is it doing? Is it healthy? Is it not? Is it contracting? Are we going into a recession? Are we growing? What's happening here? These numbers are lagging, but at the same time, also a very clear tell as far as what is happening with the overall economy. We've been seeing very bad jobs numbers over the last several months. These numbers have been getting worse and worse and worse each month, and the revisions are going down, 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 getting worse and worse and worse. My point being is that there's a pretty high likelihood that we're moving toward a pretty nasty recession. Many people are suggesting that we're already in a recession right now. But again, it's not going to be confirmed if we are or if we're not. It's not going to be confirmed for several months. Generally, about 6 months after the recession has started is when they would possibly come out to confirm something like that. So we've got a lot of months to go if that is the actual case, if we're in a recession. But many people are suggesting that that is where we are currently at right now. Well, what happens every single time when we go into a recession or a major economic contraction in this country, in this economy? They stimulate like crazy every single time, right? A lot of money, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars, trillions of dollars, depends on the year that you look at, but it's always based on the economy and the need for how much stimulus. This next recession that we go into, whenever that technically happens, maybe we're in it now. We don't really know. But my point being is that when it happens this next time, the need for even more money is going to be greater than ever, simply because the amount of debt that we have racked up in this country, the only way out of this is honestly to print our way out, and that is going to cause a ton of printing. a flood of printing of money. Like a lot of money. If you think the $6 trillion that they printed a few years ago in 2020, 2021, it's going to be way more than that this next time around. It's going to be nuts to see how much they need to stimulate to dig us out of this massive, massive hole that we are in as a country and individuals as well. We're like massive amounts of record debt. It is craziness, okay? But my point being is that when we get this next job number out next Friday, this is going to give us a big, big, big tell on the overall economy. The last several numbers have not been good, and we've been seeing the spiking unemployment rate. When that goes significantly higher, again, I said this a few months ago, and I've been saying this recently as well, which is I've been seeing some projections that are suggesting sometime by the middle portion of the year, some people are projecting we could be seeing a 5.7% unemployment by the middle-ish of the year. That'd be really ugly. That'd be really, really ugly if we get there, right? But what do? They scramble. They present all kinds of stimulus packages to get us out of this mess when we get into a predicament like we're in right now, or that we're leading into essentially, okay? Anyway, just remember, it's always economically based. Always, except for in the fact when the president wants to distribute some type of dividend, a profit share, something like that to us, then obviously that's a little bit different. But when it comes down to economic stimulus, which is generally what we see, it all comes down to the overall economy, and a lot of that is tied to the job market, the labor market, the unemployment rate, things like that is what it really comes down to give us a big, broad look of the overall economy. That's the tell that we need to look at. Anyway, hope this helps you. I just want to point this out for you. And again, I get questions on stimulus every single day. People reach out and say, hey, when are we going to get it? How much is it going to be? Who's going to be included? All kinds of things like this. And again, it all plays into this data, okay? Anyway, I'm going to continue to watch everything very closely for you as we get more information coming out. If you have not done so, please consider subscribing. Big subscribe button down below. Please share the video. Otherwise, make sure to just stay tuned. I'm here for you in every single day in videos and dedicated live streams. There's still a lot of information coming across the wire right now. As it comes across, I will continue to keep you updated with everything going on right now. Thanks again for watching this. Again, please consider subscribing. Please share the video. Buttons are right down below the video. Otherwise, check out the other 6,000 plus videos here on the channel in the video library down below. Otherwise, until next time, enjoy, stay tuned, and I'll keep you posted with everything going on. It's going to be another very busy year beyond how busy it's already been. Enjoy, and I'll see you again later. All right, hope this helps, and I'll see you again a little